My name is Okpadin Oluwafemi. I am the creative director and founder of Femi Fashion Designs. I started this about 13 years ago. That was like 2012. That was when I actually started learning, and I made my first suit in the space of 5 to 6 months.
This is #50 African Stories.
9 stories discovered, 41 to go.
Prepare to be inspired.
It's time to talk.
My interest in fashion didn't just come as a result of interest. Like I was just like idle at some point in my life, and I was not liking the fact that I was not doing anything. And because I've always loved fashion in terms of like I like when people dress up and wear beautiful clothes. So when I was idle, I decided to learn a skill, and then fashion was what came in handy, and I decided to take a bold step to learn how to make clothes, and suits was primarily the first thing I learned. So since then up to now, I've had like a couple of other teachers. University of YouTube is like my major teacher, so it has been one of the major upgrades for me. So I've learned from a couple of other people, and then at some point I got exposed to Savvy Rose tailors and how they make their suit, their craftsmanship. So when I discovered that the origin of like bespoke tailoring is from Europe, I started like patterning my work in line with them, like trying to like study how they do. And then the advent of technology, internet, it made it a little bit easier for me to be able to like adopt some of the things that they do there without having to travel over there. So sometimes I have to like buy some courses online, try to like watch some videos and then practicalize. Access to materials that they use might be a little bit challenging, but they are available. It's just that it's scarce. So like that's like one of the major challenges, that because then when you tell somebody I need to get a canvas to make a suit, they start asking you, do you really want to use a shoe to make a suit? I'm like, no, there's something called canvas that they use to make shoe, but not everybody knows it because it's not what we do generally around here. My design basically has to do with Afrocentric, meaning we make kaftans and then we also make formal wear, right? So one way that my brand is unique is that we use indigenous fabrics to make beautiful clothes for people. So sometimes we use prints like adire, we use tie and dye. Sometimes we use Ankara to make like Western outfit like suits, trench coat, and the rest. And then people really embrace some of these things. Recently, we started working with Ashoke. I mean, sometimes we also work with like other people, other brands, but majorly we use indigenous fabric also to create beautiful outfits, and then we also adorn them with like local embellishments too. One thing I would say is get a good person to teach you, and then you will save a lot of time doing try and error. Because one of the things that took my time in my learning curve was that I didn't learn the right way. I mean, the person that taught me the basics, but because he adopted what was convenient for him at that point in time, and then that was what I learned. So if you can get someone that is good enough to teach you, like in a proper way, it saves you a lot of time and error. And then also I would say you should try as much as possible to expose yourself early enough. Like expose yourself to international work, and then you'll be able to like know what's obtainable and what's not obtainable, so you can know where you're doing wrong and where you can improve upon. And then also in terms of like business, because I didn't see this as a business before, I just saw it as a skill that you can just have in handy. So for a while, like about 4 years, it was just dormant. I was just having the skill and I was not doing anything about it. So I would advise anybody that is learning the skill of fashion to look at the business side and start putting out your work out early enough so that you can get the exposure you need early enough. I'm an African, and this is my story.